All right. So still, sticking with the whole partnership theme, have you worked with, and I know you said you partner with some charities. Have you worked with any other businesses, especially Black-owned businesses, or do you have more future plans to do so? And if so, what are some of those details? I know you might can't give us all of them, but what are some of them?
So I would really like to partner with the foster care system and
Yeah.
push more dolls out that way. Last year, we partnered with a mega church in Texas, and the name of it is slipping my mind, but they work with the Shop with the Cop program. So we
Hmm.
participated in that last year. So we were able to give away dolls then too.
Awesome. Oh, that would be so wonderful. And I'm sure you guys will do that too. When everybody,
Mhm.
sees this interview and reads the editorial, I'm sure some businesses and charities will be reaching out to you because that's such a wonderful idea. Such a wonderful idea. Um, in terms of, we talked a little bit about, new business owners who want to start up a business, no matter what the industry is.
Mhm.
But I want to get into a little bit more advice. If you could give, a brand new entrepreneur who's maybe thinking about starting a business, maybe they don't know what kind of business yet, or maybe they do, but they don't quite know where to start. If you could give them one or two of your top go-to pieces of advice, what would it be?
My number one would be find a mentor. If you know someone who's working in your field, find a mentor. Because when we think about successful people, it's always a blueprint out there. So reach out to them and see if they can give you any nuggets or any type of piece of advice that can help make your journey easier.
Yes.
Number two would be research. Whatever it is that you want to do, research because you need to be able to operate that business inside and out. So those will be my two pieces.
Awesome. Those are two awesome pieces too. I love to one of the jokes I always tell people is that if I didn't learn anything else from law school, I learned how to research. Like
Mhm,
they beat that into you. Like
mhm,
no matter what you're doing, what you got going on, you need research, you need data, and you need to know how to find it and go about it. And a great tool in finding out information and data is your other piece of advice, getting a mentor, somebody who has done what you're trying to do is always going to be
mhm.
impactful. So those are two great pieces of advice. So thank you so much for that as well. In terms of the children who you're putting, huge smiles on their faces, what do you hope your impact and legacy will look like or will be on these children's lives?
I'm hoping that these children can see these products and they can say, if she can achieve this, so can I. So that goes back into representation.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to see people that look like us doing what we want to do in order for us to believe, hey, I can achieve that too. So my legacy, I wanted it to be, hey, she did this and she encouraged me to strive for my goals.
Absolutely. That's a great legacy to leave behind as well. Paying it forward to the next generation that's coming up
Mhm,
behind us, laying
mhm.
another, blueprint and roadmap, right? That they
Absolutely.
can choose from and draw from. So I know that yours is like I said, when I checked out your website and looked at your products, I was so inspired that's why I wanted to do this interview with you. So I can only imagine a little girl, getting that doll and opening it up for the first time or one of your books and reading it, how impactful that is going to be or has been and will be for all of the future little girls who are getting your products as well. Um,
Mhm.
if you could share a success story or a really proud moment, I'm sure you've had many. We
Mhm.
talked about, some of your some of the issues or problems that you run into, but tell me about a joyous moment, like one or two of your top proudest moments since starting the business.
I would have to say my proudest is the first time I heard a little girl say, "That doll looks like me. She looks like me." And I was like, mission accomplished. This baby can see herself in this doll. My
Yes.
second would be just being able to give back. When I sat down and I was like, hey, we're just getting started, and I was able to give away $90. So that's $90 that 90 little girls have, courtesy of the Brilliant Girl.
Yes, I
Mhm.
love that too. Oh my goodness. And there's going to be so many more, smiling faces that you're going to create going forward. And as you're selling the dolls, as you're partnering with other charities and foundations as well. So I can't wait to see how big of an impact you're going to have on, little girls who look like me and you. So again, I applaud everything that you're doing. Um, in terms of, we talked about a little bit about mentors and the importance of having them. I always like to ask this question because I know what it would look like in my head. So we have our mentors, and some people might not have, depending on what their background is, they might not have access, or they might think they don't have access to some people who are already doing what they would like to do. They might not know how to reach out. Um,
Mhm.
even though we have social media, but not all
Mhm.
busy people respond in their social media accounts. So what I like to try to do is I do the mentors, have the real mentors, but I also have like a round table in my head of
Mhm.
people who I look up to, whether it's in business or the legal field or fashion, because I love fashion also, or design,
Mhm.
whatever it is. I have like a round table of people in my head who I've never met before,
Mhm.
but I read their books.
Mhm.
I go to their workshops. I connect with them in those types of ways. So I have a few people that sit at that table. So if I'm going through something, trying to make a difficult decision, if my real life mentors aren't available,
Mhm.
then I wonder, what would my round table in my head mentor say or tell me about this, knowing, of them from the books I've read and getting to know them that way. Do you have, if you could pick, your top three
Mhm.
mentors in your head, do you have a list like that, or is it just me?
I have a list. If I had
Awesome.
my round table and
Yes,
I was able to pick anyone that I wanted to be at that table,
yes,
it would probably be Bishop T.D. Jakes.
yes,
It would be Oprah, and it
yes.
would be
At
Tyler
my
Perry.
table. Oh my God. Yes, yes, yes. I love that you have Bishop T.D. Jakes. He's the
Mhm.
only one out of those three you named that's not at my table. But now I think I might need to add him to my table.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah, those are a great three to start. And I'm so glad you have that list too. I think it's so important. I can't tell you how many times I've been, thinking about decisions, couldn't get my mentor
Mhm.
on the phone. And so I had to just sit down and think like, okay, what would Oprah
Mhm.
do?
Mhm.
What would Oprah
Yes.
advise me to do? What would Tyler Perry advise me to do? So yeah, I think that that's an important thing, especially for those who don't have access right now, starting
Mhm.
to the people they really need access to. It's okay to go ahead and put that round table together in your mind, and from everything you've learned over the years about those people, figure out what you think they would tell you to do or what advice they would give you. So I'm so happy that you also have a round table.
Yes. Mhm.
Awesome, wonderful. So what's next? What's next? You told us a little bit about animation. Is there anything else next for the Brilliant Girl that you like our audience to know about?
So I've been getting messages from people saying, you have the brilliant girl. What about the brilliant boy? Are you
Yeah.
going to do something for boys? And I was like, got a couple of ideas. So let me push them, push them out and
Yes.
see where we go from there. But people have been on me about doing something for brilliant boys. So I
Yeah.
was like, that's a good idea. So
That
that may be in the future, maybe working on a few things right now.
That's a great idea. That would be a great addition as well.
Mhm.
That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. I look forward to that down the line as well. And after you said that, I just thought about something, and this is completely not on my questions list. But I thought about because I remember growing up,
Mm-hmm.
I love my dolls. I didn't have that many of them that looked like me.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember one of like some of the accessories that I had. Listen, I was in love with my accessories. My dollhouse, I had this convertible doll like
Mm-hmm.
car. Do you
Mm-hmm.
have any future plans for accessories?
So I wanted to do a kitchen set
Yeah.
because Sugar Mama loves to bake cookies. So some kind of way, get a kitchen set going on and let Sugar Mama get in there and do her thing. So
Yes,
yeah,
I
I
love
like
that.
that.
Yeah, yeah. We had that too. Me, I'm one of five girls, so
Mm-hmm.
sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the bake set. I can't even remember what they were called, but you know, it came with like the little stuff you could actually bake.
Mm-hmm.
And so little
Mm-hmm.
girls love to do that. I know that that would be a huge success as well if you guys develop something like that. So I'm glad to hear that that's on your radar too. Awesome.
Yes. Mhm.
Wonderful. Well, this has been such a great interview. I told you I wasn't going to take up too much of your time. I wanted to get right into it. I think that you've given so much to our readers and our viewers that they'll be able to come back to this interview time and time again and pull out those great nuggets of inspiration and information that you provided. So thank you so, so very much. And before we end the interview, is there anything else you'd like to add, throw in there before we end for this evening?
All right. If you're interested in knowing more about the Brilliant Girl and the Brilliant Girl products, you can find us at www.thebrilliantgirl.com.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so, so much. We really enjoyed talking to you guys, or talking to you. And this interview has been so delightful. I appreciate your time, your effort, your energy. Thank you again. And yeah, I will be in touch after the interview. So that we can get some awesome pictures to also put into the editorials. So everyone watching, also look out for her editorial, her article that'll be coming out in the print version of the magazine as well as the digital version of the magazine. So again, thank you so much, Shaneisha. I really appreciate your time and I love what you're doing. Keep being the epitome of Black excellence. Thank you.
All right. And thank you so much for having me.